Let's start with something uncomfortable. The Cricut might be one of the most popular business machines, and also one of the most abandoned. Not broken, not defective, abandoned. One YouTube comment said, "I have a Cricut Maker 3 that I bought but hardly ever use. It's just been sitting here gathering dust." That sentence tells you everything, because machines don't fail financially when they break. They fail when they stop being worth using. And for many people, that happens faster than expected. Let's talk about the business model behind the business machine, because Cricut isn't just selling hardware, they're selling access. One frustrated user asked directly, "Why do you need a subscription to use all features?" That question hits at the core risk. Cricut machines rely on their proprietary software, design space, and many features, assets, and workflows are locked behind Cricut Access. Another user said, "If I knew about this, I wouldn't have bought the machine at all." This creates a structural problem. You don't fully own your production environment. You're renting access to part of it. That's platform dependency risk, and platform dependency is dangerous in business. Unlike traditional equipment, Cricut machines cannot operate independently. You must use their software, and users regularly report login failures, outages, and access issues. One YouTube user reported, "Unable to log in for 2 days now. This is what lets the platform down." Imagine running a business and your equipment stops working because you can't log in, not because it broke, because a server somewhere failed. That's not hardware failure, that's infrastructure risk, and infrastructure risk is outside your control. Let's break down real numbers, not influencer fantasy, actual startup cost in the US. Cricut Maker 4, $399, tools and accessories, $150, starter materials, $200, heat press, $300, replacement mats, blades, supplies, $100. Total startup cost, $900 to $1,300 realistically. Before revenue, before profit, before validation. This is upfront capital at risk, not guaranteed return. Let's analyze a typical Cricut product. Example, vinyl decal. Selling price, $6. Material cost, $1. Platform fees, $1.50. Packaging, 75 cents. Remaining profit, $2.75. Now subtract time, 5 minutes per unit. At minimum wage equivalent value, $1.20 labor cost. Real profit, $1.55 per unit. This changes everything. To recover a $1,200 startup cost, you must sell 774 units just to break even. Not 100, not 200, 774 units just to break even. Hardware failure happens, but support quality determines business survival. One YouTube user said bluntly, "Don't purchase, arrived dead on arrival, and it's impossible to get a hold of support." This is catastrophic in business terms, because downtime kills revenue, and small creators don't have redundancy. If your only machine stops working, your income stops instantly. This is rarely discussed. Many Cricut machines don't fail mechanically. They fail psychologically. Motivation drops, sales don't scale, interest fades, and machines sit unused. Just like this comment, it's been sitting here gathering dust. This is capital inefficiency. Idle equipment produces zero ROI, and idle equipment is extremely common in low-barrier businesses. Cricut's biggest strength is also its biggest weakness, low barrier to entry. anyone can start, which means everyone starts. Millions of users compete selling identical products, stickers, shirts, decals, tumblers, which creates price compression, lower margins, lower ROI, higher failure rates, because competition increases faster than demand. One user made a powerful request: open source the machine's protocol so we are not bound to using your app. That statement reveals something deeper. Cricut isn't just a tool, it's a controlled ecosystem. You don't control the hardware fully, the company does, and that creates long-term uncertainty because your business depends on their decisions, not yours. Let's calculate realistic ROI timeline. Startup cost $1,200, profit per unit $1.50, break-even units 800 units. If you sell 5 units per day, 160 days break-even, 3 units per day, 266 days, 1 unit per day, 800 days. That's over 2 years, and that assumes consistency. Most people never reach consistency. Profitable Cricut businesses have one thing in common. They don't rely on the machine. They rely on distribution. They build brands, audiences, repeat customers, local demand. The Cricut is just production infrastructure, not demand infrastructure. Demand is harder to build, much harder. Worst case scenario is simple. You spend $1,200, you make some products, sales slow down, software frustrates you, margins disappoint you, motivation fades, and the machine becomes decoration, not an asset, a sunk cost. The Cricut is not a scam, but it's also not a business. It's a tool, and tools don't create income, they create potential. Whether that potential becomes profit or becomes dust depends entirely on execution, not the machine.